up the blocks like a me. Elliot got water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy, he got a God. Oh my God, boy, that boy on top. Sipping walk, make my heart stop. All these hoes, yeah, my love, my thigh. Yo, oh, let go, put her on roll, put that on payroll, put that on go. Yeah, she like to go, yeah, she love to blow. Get that dick slow, like snow cone. Yo, get that bag, show 'em how to ball. I'm in the mall, yeah, I'm saying. Give me a minute, yeah, I need a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm need a minute, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Cardi B and Pippin, Cardi B and kick the shit in, yo, give me a minute, yeah.
Yo, what's good? It's DGE Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's your boy DG, and we back with another video, man. Appreciate y'all, love y'all. Y'all help me get to that 10K. That 10K is on his way. And shout out to my boy JP. He in the building. Let him know what's up.
What's going on, y'all? I'm making my entrance by way of Houston today. You know, usually I'm in a different location, but you know, when business calls, you know what I'm saying, I gotta come to the plate. You feel me?
Let the audience know like how it is over there in Houston. Let them know.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, like Houston is one of those fast-paced cities, you know what I'm saying? If you enjoy the pace of Miami, you would definitely like the pace of Houston. There's always something to do, there's always something going on. Even though there's not like, you know, much water nearby, you know what I'm saying, it's still always a good time as far as the like after hour spots, the brunch spots, and anything in between that you're looking for. You know, so if y'all ever decide y'all want to come out to Houston, shoot, by all means, you know what I'm saying? There's always something to get into.
Yes, I was thinking about it, man, but I love Florida, man. I'm a Florida boy. The Dolphins over here, so I just can't. I can't make that commitment. I'm sorry, man.
Understood, understood. I know about what was it? A couple months ago, we was talking about you coming. Possibly this is when I was tapped in with your channel. We was talking about
hmm
you to Houston or whatever.
Sometimes they say when you change your scenery, it kind of helps you out in regards to growing as a person. So I was looking into that. I might as well move to a place where I'm comfortable with. Texas would be one of those places, but it just seems like Florida gonna be that spot for me.
But check this out, my boy. I'll tell you this, dog. It's been devilish hot here, boy. It's
hmm
been devilish hot. Like you don't want to do nothing till like maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe hot.
Wow. Yeah, I bet it's in like what the 120s, 130s.
Today was like it was like 99, but summer ain't even really like touched down yet. You feel me? So
Yeah.
this is just a little sprinkle of what we about to get. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But yeah, I'm excited to speak on these topics, man. As far as what our coaches had to say, man.
I
Definitely
mean,
excited.
first person we got is Anthony Weaver. We're not gonna do all the coaches.
Uh,
That's gonna be way too much coaches. So first person, most important, Anthony Weaver. He's the closest thing to a head coach, a defensive coordinator. So we're gonna see what he has to say. He not working with a lot this year. The D line, he has a lot of pieces to work with, linebackers, a lot of guys he could work with. It's just the DBs. Can he call a good enough defense to the point where he could mask us not having the best DB room in the NFL? So we really trying to figure that out today based off what Anthony Weaver says. So let's check out what he has to say. And on top of that, y'all go check out that merch, dgmerchandise.com. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's get into this.
Yes, sir.
What is second round of interviews like for you?
It was like it was like the year prior, to be honest with you. But truly blessed for the opportunity. New Orleans bring me in for that second round interviews. All experience is good experience, but I'm on divine
Give
timing,
me the
man.
bill.
So
I need a bill.
this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm grateful for that, and can't wait to see what we can do.
with this defense, obviously, there was an emphasis in the trenches when you got pretty much Zach Sealer here. You obviously need to restock that defensive line room. Zach and Benito, let me not disrespect
Yeah.
Benito. How much do you think you achieved in the draft process?
Oh, thrilled about the draft process. It was a collective work of so many, just targeting the guys we did. Really excited about Kenneth Grant and what he brings to the middle of that defense. And some opportunity to work with Benito and Zach Stiller. The coach, whatever he posts today, I promise you he will reach every bit of God-given potential.
Placing your
That's crazy.
first options trade?
That's crazy. Let me ask you this question. Going into the draft, what side of the ball you thought needed more help? The defense or the offense?
Definitely defense, considering the fact that we lost Calais Campbell, bro.
Oh.
That was a major hit because prior we lost Christian Wilkins. I felt like we was just so soft up the middle. Teams was getting what they wanted on us. So I said trenches was definitely one of those things that we had to address. But what trips me out though is I didn't see the monkey wrench being thrown as far as the Jalen Ramsey trade, or and in the works at this moment.
I mean, I know they're gonna bring that up pretty soon. No way they're not gonna ask him about this because that's pretty much your best defensive player that wants out. So we really need to solve that answer. Me personally, I've been thinking about it recently, and I've been thinking like maybe if we are able to get Asante Samuel, that might entice Jalen Ramsey to stay.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what his status is. I heard that he had neck surgery, so that's why he hasn't been signed yet. So teams are probably like a little, scared.
Prone.
And on top of that, his size too. He like
I'm
5'8",
scared of him as well.
5'8", 5'9", something like that. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But Jordan Phillips, guy that was kind of under the radar a little bit.
It's the durability.
Within me, I don't know what other corners. He's probably the best one available. That's the thing about it. But
yeah. That's the crazy part is, I prior to watching this video, I've seen this video already, but what trips me out is more so the fact that like Chris Greer made mention that we have a deep free agent pool as far as corners is concerned. He said that same thing last year about the offensive line. Remember, he made it seem like we're okay. We'll be all right, So whenever he does that, it kind of scares me because it means like if you're okay with our room right now, we got a lot of work to do, man. Because these are all undrafted guys, a lot of them, and we got the young guys, but you can't just expect them to just jump in and just be immediate, impact guys like that,
Yeah, last year they tried to put a Band-Aid on the O-line. That didn't work out. The blood kept on coming out, even though they put that Band-Aid there. They're trying to do the same thing with the DBs. They want to put a Band-Aid in the DB room by, even though we're letting go of Jalen Ramsey, we think that Jason Marshall could hold it down. We think that Artie Burns could hold it down, but we don't know that for certain. Even if we're bringing somebody, Rasul Douglas, can he bring in that type of impact that Jalen Ramsey got? Can he?
I doubt it, but I would rather Douglas over all of the names that we named. Because Artie Burns, he's been a backup for a while, you know what I'm saying? His first 2 years, he was definitely like, starting caliber. He played like 38 games. And up until that point, he has been just mostly second string guy, you know what I'm saying? So he's a good depth piece at that position, but you can't expect like corner is one of the hardest positions to play, you feel me? Because they're working backwards while everybody's working forward. So I don't know what Chris Greer was thinking on this note, but yeah, let's hear what Anthony Weaver got to say.
But the way he plays on film and just the person that he is, it's the same thing. He's going to reach that ceiling, and have really high hopes for both those kids. And then I still don't know how we got Zeke Biggers in the seventh. A guy with that size, that length, that mass to play as hard as he plays. He could end up being a steal for us too. So really happy about those three. They've been putting the work in since they've gotten here. And just I know we'll live through some growing pains early, as you do with all rookies. But the one thing I do know is that it's going to click faster for them than just because of the work they put in.
I wanted to ask you about those guys, those young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be afraid to throw them in there right away, or are you going to get them ready for that?
No, not at all. Not at all. That's got to be trial by fire, right? And I was in a very similar situation when I was in Houston back in 2016, around game 4, game 3, something like that. We had to play with DJ Reader, who was a 5th round draft pick, I think, and Joel Heath, a defensive end who was an undrafted free agent. And we finished that year number 1 in total defense. So
He flexing right now. I like that.
Yeah.
He's stunting on them boys.
I like the confidence. But that's like, you can't guarantee these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like I have high hopes for Storm Duck. I have high hopes for Ethan Bonner and them boys, because Ethan Bonner is apparently, like we was talking about last week, the fastest guy on the team, right? Late it's stopping and going. You know what I'm saying? And what I notice a lot is our secondary gets beat on. So you get and you got what's his name, Cam Smith out there. He gets lost in space. A lot of them get lost in space. It's like they can run with you, but they get lost in space.
True.
So we gonna see. I'm trying to stay optimistic,
But look, he's telling you that he could turn water into wine. That's what he's saying right now. There's some coaches who know. There's some coaches who know they need talent to be able to be their best self. There's some coaches who are confident in their skills to the point where I don't really need the best player at this position. I can make this middle tier player work on my team. So right now, Anthony Weaver, he just said, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go get 3D tackles. My specialty is D-line. So I might as well go get 3D tackles and see how I can make them work. Last year, we went D-line the first round. This year, we went D-line the second round. So Anthony Weaver, he got a lot of pieces to work with. So I know this D-line is going to get pressure. No matter who we got in there. Yeah, I know we're going to get pressure on the D-line. So maybe the D-line is the confidence that he has in the defense to work. So they could take pressure off of the DBs.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
It'll make the DBs look better because they don't have to, be doing too much within that amount of time. If you got the big man up the middle already, back there, and we got all these edge guys like Phillips and what's his name, Chubb and Chop and them boys, we got a rotation of guys we can throw at them. So I see what we're trying to do, but also I'm curious to know what the secondary is going to look like, considering the fact that we got so many safeties and we don't know who's going to be our exact safety. But I'm very optimistic, like I said, because I seen what he can do with Hamilton off the Ravens, and guys like that, turn them into stars. You feel me? Because he had Hamilton roaming a lot of times. He'll put Hamilton down in the box. Sometimes he'll have Hamilton, play in the middle of the field. So he has like a good package. It's just a matter of who's gonna gel and fit into that exact scheme well.
I mean, do you give him credit for Chop Robinson?
Yes, I do. I think what it was with Chop, like earlier on in the year, he came on real slow.
In the laundry room. Hold on. It's got to be in the box.
I did. They throw the papers away. They don't keep the papers no more. They throw them away every single day. I don't know why.
They ask her for one.
She don't have it. She's telling me that
I don't know where to look for it. I don't have it.
You don't have the information?
No.
And I don't know how was I supposed to
tell her.
Well, the thing's gonna get cut off then. There's not gonna be no power.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so pretty much I do give him credit for the Chop situation because with Chop, at first everybody was calling bust, but I feel like a young rusher who's slightly undersized, you have to give him time. You know what I'm saying? And what I noticed about Chop is he got a quick first step.
Hmm.
And he gets off the line so fast. It's just a matter of adding more moves to his repertoire. Like, he got to add some more swim moves and counter moves, you know what I'm saying, and be able to stop the run in a sense. So a lot of the reason I was keeping him from really reaching max potential was him not being able to stop the run. He's more like a third down rusher, but that's still value that we needed. You know what I'm saying? So once he like starts to settle in and starts to evolve, we might see a amazing pass rush from like our defense, you know what I'm saying? Because we gonna have two guys who already are proven that are gonna be healthy. Then you got this young guy who is third um, in the NFL as far as rookie pressure. Excuse me.
I mean, Chop. I've been telling people this. I think he's gonna be a top 5 player. I already have that confidence in him. Even though he seemed like a third down rusher, I seen scenarios of him using his power to push people back. So he already showed me the aspect of maybe okay, he could hold it down in the trenches. He's not gonna get bullied.
Mhm.
Out there. His rookie year, I was expecting him to be on the ground a little bit. I seen him on the ground quite
Mhm.
often last year. This year I feel like he's gonna
Mhm.
have a good head on his shoulders. He's gonna be able to stand up straight, be there for all downs. I know he's gonna be better this year than last year in regards to run defense. I know that for certain. But pass rush,
Right.
if he's better this year than last year in pass rush, we got a top 5 guy based off what he did last year. Well, he
Right.
got
Right.
6 sacks, so if he does better this year, I think he could get at least 9 sacks, 10 sacks. I really do see that as something that Chop Robinson can do.
A possibility. You know what's so funny? When you said that, man, you should have seen how Melo looked at me, bro.
What?
When you said top 5 edge rusher, Melo eyes. you know,
Hey,
so,
but I
so,
didn't. I
so
wasn't. I
guys,
wasn't
for
talking
y'all.
about the NFL. I was talking about the
Okay,
team
okay.
top 5 player. Like people gonna put Tyreek.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
You know, Tyreek Waddle.
Mm,
I put Chop.
okay, okay,
I put
okay.
Chop top 5 this year.
Okay, okay. Because for y'all boys and girls at home who don't know, I'm currently, even though I'm in Houston, like I said, I'm currently sitting next to a Jets fan right now. So he kind of has to take this in, and hear some of the things that we're saying. But I know in his mind it kind of seemed like nonsense
Mhm.
due to the fact that he's a Jets fan. But I think the delusion lies within both organizations. So you got to let us have our moment, right?
But
No,
let
like,
me let me say it in this way. Me stating that Chop Robinson will be a top 5 player on this team doesn't mean that I'm telling you what our record would be this year. I'm not saying if we're gonna be good or bad. All I can really say right now is Chop Robinson gonna be a top 5 player on the team.
okay, okay. And what exactly like jumps off? Like, what did you say jumps off the film that like makes you feel that way?
So like one thing I like about pass rushers, like one thing that impresses me the most is the bull rush. Are you able to move this
Mm,
man out your way by brute force? Like, do you have the strength to do that? Are you strong enough to do that to anybody in the NFL? If you show me that in your game, that kind of shows me like maybe you could be a good run defender because you're not gonna let nobody
right,
push you around. You'll be able to hold your ground and keep your gap assignment and make a play on a run. So I seen Chop Robinson do that at times, but there's other times where he just overmatched and the person just
right,
bullies him and he's on the ground. So now
right,
he's
right.
at the point as to where he has to build up his strength, his pass rush, everything, so he
Athleticism.
could be able to go up against anybody and not have a hard time against them.
Hey, shout out to Penn State, man.
Mhm. They producing.
Some boys, they be producing nothing but edge rushers, yo. Abdul Carter, this guy, and it seemed like they all got the same build. Like, you notice that?
Yeah.
I thought, bro, if you put a picture side by side of Abdul Carter and Chop Robinson, you would think they brothers or something, bro.
I mean, they're gonna keep on coming. They got another one coming too. They gave him number 11 and everything, bro. Arrington something. That's his last name.
I forgot about Micah Parsons, but yeah, see, that might be that if you number 11, bro, that's like the signature number. Like, hey, you that guy.
You know,
yeah.
like, let me give you another scenario. Like, you see what Micah Parsons has done already, and on top of that, you see who the Giants drafted, Abdul Carter. So Micah Parsons, we already know what he gonna do. You know, he been getting double-digit sacks ever since he came into the league. And on top of that, Abdul Carter, I think, gonna come in, you know, get a lot of sacks as a rookie, maybe 9, 10, who knows. So if he's able to do that, and Abdul Carter is able to have a good year in New York, I think Chop Robinson, he's set to be a real good piece for us. It's set in stone, like, you know. Plus, we the underdogs right now. Nobody want to go with the underdogs, for real.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, bro.
That's definitely true.
So
I think, man, the sky is really the limit for New York at this point. Because I thought about it, they got that big old defensive lineman in the middle. What's his name?
Dexter Lawrence.
And then they got Abdul Carter on the other
you
side.
see, like,
Yikes,
bro, they gonna cause havoc. But look what we did. We gave Chop Robinson, Kenneth Grant, you know, like, two athletic freaks that we gonna be able to work with. Both of them, they can run sideline to sideline. You know, we gonna be straight on the D line, but it's just, you know, Anthony Weaver, a lot of new faces. Everybody got to get used to each other again. You know, it's gonna be a different culture in the locker room, but we hoping that the new people that came in bring in that toughness culture. You know, that toughness mentality that we want to change into.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree. Let's hear what he got to say.
Standard doesn't change.
He me juiced up.
There's going to be a lot asked of those guys, but they got the shoulders to handle it.
You could tell that from the moment because I saw you walking around them in the rookie camp.
Yeah.
You were pretty happy.
Yeah, I like it when I walk around guys and they're bigger than me. That makes me feel good.
Wow.
Coach, we heard a lot of guys in this offseason talk about attendance and, you know, building this thing from day one here at OTAs. As a coach, how does it, I guess, lighten your load or make it easier to communicate a defense when you've got everyone here at the spring compared to like 15 people being here and not there?
It's huge. In a game where communication and coordination, obviously, which I'm in charge of, is so critical. I don't know how you get that done without being around one another. And then when you just talk about great teams that genuinely care for one another, which often transcends, right, just being a teammate, you have to invest time. If I want to get closer to God, I got to spend time in the Word. If we want to get better at football, we got to spend time on the football field. If we want to be better teammates, we need to spend time together. So all these guys that have been here in a voluntary period are truly investing in this team and in the process.
So they saying not one person was missing. Everybody came to practice.
Right. But hey, let me ask you this though. Do you take stock into that? Because I feel like I heard Omar Kelly say something and it kind of like made me think about it. Last year we had the same thing happen. Jordan Poyer was saying how you know, we got a full attendance, you know, in OTAs and all that stuff.
You know that's cap.
But
you know that's cap, especially with Tyreek and Tua when he was trying to get his contract. He was on the sideline, arms crossed, waiting for that bag. He didn't even deserve it. It's crazy, man.
Hey, hold on now, DG. Hold on now. Don't ruffle the Dolphins fans. Don't. You know we got some 2 and nears in here.
I'm Wolfpack all day. Wolfpack all day, man.
Man, listen. I partially agree with that statement. I agree that I feel like any contract that's given to a lot of these NFL players, bro, I feel like it's a what have you done for me now league. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like what you did last year. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you to say that, like I don't think a lot of these quarterbacks deserve some of the bag that they get in. You know, but it's about what we're expecting out of you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we were
So
expecting a lot out of our guy, but it didn't work out that way. You know, we just thought, to be honest, I don't blame the Dolphins. I remember watching them at Alabama. I was thinking like, man, sometimes when you see something that's so unique, you think there's no way it's not gonna work. Like Tua, we
right,
haven't seen a quarterback like Tua ever. So we're like, man, ain't no way this not gonna work. Ain't no way. But we didn't take injuries into account in
consideration.
considerations. We like, you know, we were pegged in regards to Gerber until Tua went through the injury. Tua was supposed to go number 1 overall.
Mm,
So he ain't go through injuries that he did in college. Maybe the Bengals, and
right.
Joe Burrow. I don't know where Joe Burrow would have got picked, but
He probably would have either felt we would have ended up with either Justin Herbert or
Joe
Joe Burrow.
Burrow. If anything, Jordan Love.
Right. Oh, check this out. That's another thing. That's another thing I want to bring up to your attention. So somebody, I think it was Omar again, made the comparison of Joe Burrow's career, right, versus Tua's. They've won about the same amount of games, right? And also the difference between them is not too far off,
Mhm.
minus the fact that one has been to the Super Bowl, but they're both injury prone and they both played about the same amount of games. The only difference is one threw maybe 20 more touchdowns than the other.
Mm.
Other than that, nobody labels Joe Burrow as injury prone. You know what I'm saying? They don't really speak on him like that, how they speak on Tua.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't, but at the same time, like if you won a playoff game already, and it's recent, with us being the team with the longest time without a playoff win, that kind of like puts a highlight on you in regards to like who's the quarterback over there. Like y'all had
Hold on,
20
hold on, hold
years to find a quarterback, but y'all still can't find one to win y'all a playoff game.
on. Right. Let me ask you another question. The Jets won a playoff game before the Dolphins?
Yeah,
You see? That's what I'm saying, bro.
2010, Mark Sanchez.
That's what I'm
Hey.
saying. So
And
like
championship
that right
round.
there should put you on a hot seat, and low key, that's why I thought like maybe all the players came into attendance because they know this year's like a make it or break it year for Mike McDaniel. Because like, hey, if we don't get this shit right for coach, he gonna be out of here. So
Right. I already told you I'm tired of the antics, bro.
mhm.
So DG, I can ask you a quick question real quick before you
Yeah.
move on. Do you believe that Mike McDaniels will be on the hot seat this season?
I think he is on a hot seat right now. I think he on a hot seat, bro. It's just the fact of we gonna see how the offense perform. Like we could have a high scoring offense, but I don't think that's still not gonna be enough to keep Mike McDaniel the job. He gonna have to win games. Right now, Mike McDaniel, he's like a 500 head
Especially,
coach. He gonna win half the games. Like we know the easy games, Mike McDaniel, he gonna win them. It's just the hard games that
yeah.
we don't know about, and it look like a lot of these games on the schedule are hard. So, Mike McDaniel, he definitely on the hot seat, and there's a head coaching job opening every year. You never know when it's gonna be the Dolphins. It don't seem like we're a team with stability. We're not like the Packers. We're not like the Steelers. Mike Tomlin been a head coach for a little minute. It seemed like we just gonna run through head coaches over here in Miami, just like the female. That's what it seemed like.
Not running through them though.
Brian Flores,
But
Joe Philbin,
Oh,
Sperano. I could keep going. It's like unreal.
yeah.
Adam Gaze.
What's his name? Shoot, it's so many of them.
Yeah,
So
like
many,
we
yeah.
we
Nick Saban.
Like
Nick
Nick
Saban.
Saban, bro, the guy who
Yeah.
won like 6 championships in college, bro. We couldn't work out with him. Like what we doing?
Right. I think honestly, I don't think his heart is in the NFL.
Nah, especially telling grown men what to do at that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Man, if you
I
could
don't
tell,
think-
bro, Alabama was pretty much an NFL team when he was running that right. Like Derrick Henry, the whole old line went to the NFL. It's just like, bro, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. I couldn't make no sense of it, bro.
Mhm.
Couldn't make no sense of it. But you know what though? Something got to give this year, bro. I'm looking for the O line to shore up. I'm looking for the D line to shore up. Okay, maybe the secondary might not get it together, but defensive line got to buy some time, bro.
Yeah, defensive line, they're gonna buy some time, and O line, we hoping the O line could buy some time as well on the offense. You know, like Anthony Weaver, I feel like Anthony Weaver, he's on his own hot seat. You know, we are expecting him to perform. We're just a little bit weary about Mike McDaniel. Is he going to be a good enough coach to get our tackles right? Right now, we're pretty confident in our interior, but we're hoping like Mike McDaniel, he could coach Patrick Paul to be a good tackle. We're hoping that he could turn Austin Jackson to be a good tackle, so we could have a pretty decent old line to put in front of Tua.
I feel that. I think Weaver is like, he's not on a hot seat per se. I think he's looking for his next coaching job, head coaching job.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
but I don't see that happening, bro.
Why not?
It has to be a year as to where he has to be like the best available option. I feel like each year there's going to be a lot of options better than him to the point where he's not going to get picked each year.
So I just want to beg to differ real quick. Remember that year when you guys had Vance Joseph as your DC?
You talking about Big Ben?
Nah.
Oh,
Vance Joseph, yeah.
Yeah, he with the Broncos right now.
Yeah. So remember, after that 1 year in Miami, he ended up getting a head coaching job in Arizona. So you don't feel like you don't feel like Weaver could get that same opportunity too? Not saying it has to be with Arizona, but you don't feel he could get a head coaching job after the season?
It just depends on the team situation. I feel like with Vance Joseph, he kind of fell into his lap. You know, he has experience in the NFL, and the situation as to where Arizona was in, they were just coming off of Cliff Kingsbury, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So OC. Usually when a team leave a head coach, they try not to go back to that type of head coach. You know, they go back to OC or they go back to the DC.
New regime.
You know, we fired. Yeah, new regime. We fired Adam Gase, a OC, and we went and got Brian Flores at DC. Now we back to Mike McDaniel.
Right,
So it kind of works that way. So with Weaver, it had to play out perfectly for him to get a head coaching job. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I just don't see it.
You don't see it happening.
Yeah, like he don't remind me of like like I feel like everybody looking for that Sean McVay.
Yeah,
you know, they looking for that Kyle Shanahan. You know, not Anthony Weaver.
But then again, though, man, it's like they got that rule, right? I think it's called a Rooney Rule, where you have to have a certain amount of minority coaches, head coaches.
Yeah, they gonna choose Weaver. You know, they gonna be like, okay, we're gonna choose the best black coach, the one that we think like who actually has a shot. We're gonna choose him. So he got that type of respect around the NFL as to the point where they'll bring him in for an interview at least.
Yeah, because we almost lost to the Saints this year.
Exactly. So, you know, maybe next year he gets closer to getting a job, you know, but I think it just depends on his competition. Like if there's not a lot of competition, then I think he get that job. But if there is a lot of competition, then he's going to just be back as a DC somewhere.
Right. Which I don't think he mind because he's still getting paid. And he in Florida, so, hey. But
yeah. I don't care if I'm a water boy. If I'm getting paid, bro, I'm getting paid, dog.
Right.
Going back to Grant for a second, since he's a first-round pick, it's always going to be a spotlight. What gives you that confidence that he's going to fulfill his potential? What is it in his makeup that you maybe saw before the draft if you met with him and you've seen post-draft?
Yeah. First, just in terms of makeup, right? To me, the one thing you can always gauge on film is the effort a guy plays with.
See how your marketing campaigns really perform. Choose a smarter email and marketing automation platform.
And his effort on film was elite. They played a ton of plays. I actually didn't rotate very much a year ago at Michigan. And for him to play as hard as he did at his weight and still go out there and be as forceful as he was as a player, that spoke a lot to me. And then so much of the things he's done already, with the familiarity with being in Mike McDonald's scheme, Jesse Minter's scheme, and Wink Martindale's scheme, there's obviously a lot of carryover there. So we're hoping some of that.
But Kenneth Grant was an Anthony Weaver pick, bro. It has to be.
For sure. Because he diving deep. He diving deep right now.
Yeah, that nigga watched his birth video, man.
he
caught his mom up. Y'all got a video.
Right.
You know,
he
got all that information.
He know every tree he done been a part of.
Mm-hmm. But hey, that's what you call doing your homework, scouting.
Right.
Rookie curve is shorter for him. So, yeah, just really happy about the kid.
I want to ask you about your most unproven unit, which happens to be your, especially with Jalen Ramsey kind of seemingly on his way out. How do you replace that level of experience with a unit where relatively everybody but maybe Artie Burns and Cater is unproven?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, those guys, they've been here from day one. And you could see the confidence that grows in them by day. Artie's been a tremendous leader, obviously Cater. There's leaders in the back end, right, with Ife Melifonwu, Ashton Davis, Elijah Campbell. But all those corners, one, they all have a chip and they want to prove themselves. And there's no greater motivator than that as a coach, because you know every time they attack that field, they're going to attack it with purpose and intention, right, which ultimately they're going to get better. At this portion of the offseason, it's the only time you can invest this much time in individual technique and fundamentals. So just so proud of how those guys have attacked that. I also think we're going to be strong up front. If by God's grace we're fortunate that Jalen Phillips can stay on the field, Bradley Chubb, Chop coming into year 2, the additions we've made on the defensive line and Zach Sealer, obviously, I think we can help them too by being more disruptive and creating more chaos for the quarterback.
So exactly what I was thinking, bro. Exactly.
So, but let me ask you this, DG. Mm-hmm. How much of this do you think is coach talk versus like him actually believing this?
I think like 70% coach talk, 30% him believing this. You know, like they asked him about the DBs, right? What's the first thing he said? You can see the confidence building up in them every day. I want to know if they're good or not. I don't care about the confidence. Are they making plays? You know, that's what I really want to know. Are you making plays on the field? Are you locking down Tyreek Hill? Are you locking down Jalen Waddle? Are you locking down Jonnu Smith? Are you locking down Devon A-Chain? That's what I really want to know. But, you know, the only good thing that he could say without lying is saying that he could see the confidence building up in them. That probably means that they're probably making a lot of mistakes in practice, you know, but he's not going to call them out on it. He's just going to say, oh, you know, they're building up their confidence. They're taking risk. So that's kind of showing him at practice that, hey, these players are willing to go out there and take a few risks, and that shows confidence. So that's what I feel like.
Right. The Raphael fool, man.
Let me see. We were saying those injury players getting less reps due to new players making impact, in my opinion. We're going to see by the playing time. You know, it's either Devon A-Chain or Ollie Gordon going to get like that upper hand, I shall say. You know, Chop Robinson or Jalen Phillips, who going to get more snaps? Like, so it's going to be a tough matchup everywhere.
But I need this is what I need from the Dolphins. I need competition everywhere. Because if you notice, if we being completely real, they're afraid to give Tua some type of competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need competition everywhere. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think they should come in with that mindset. Put in your best guys and let them compete. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what we really gotta wait for. We gotta see if Quinn Ewers could even push Tua. We gotta see if Zach Wilson can even push Tua. We think they got the potential to. Quinn Ewers. We thought he was gonna be the first quarterback taken like a year ago. He ended up being the last quarterback taken in the draft. And Zach Wilson, number 2 overall pick, went to a poor franchise. I'm sorry, I gotta say it, man. I gotta say it, and kind of messed up his career. But if he comes and ball out with the Dolphins, what you gotta say about the Jets now?
I mean, it goes to show you, man. We make terrible decisions. Look at Sam Darnold. This guy, Sam Darnold, went to go be a journeyman for a while, ended up having the best career of his life in Minnesota.
Exactly.
I mean, Zach Wilson, he have yet to do that for me. Even in the last season in New York, he gave us 6 wins, but even then, he could even beat out the rookie in Bo Nix in Denver, and he was like the 3rd string quarterback. So, I mean, he will have to prove me wrong. But I mean, if he magically happened to have a great season in Miami, then I'm just going to eat crow, respectfully.
Melo, let me ask you this, Melo.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How does it feel to fumble 2 franchise quarterbacks? How does it feel?
When you say 2 franchise quarterbacks, you talking about Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson?
No, Geno Smith.
Woo. And who else? Geno Smith and who else? Sam Darnold?
Yeah, Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. How does it feel to fumble 2 franchise quarterbacks? Dolphins, we're not in that situation. Ryan Tannehill,
sure.
It seemed like he's gone. There's nobody that we regret letting go. But it seems like with the Jets, it's just like with those 2 guys coming out, balling after leaving the team, it's just like you don't have no animosity in regards to your team letting go of these franchise quarterbacks, even though you already had them in the building.
I'll be honest with you, not really. There's no type of animosity. I mean, as you can tell for Geno's career, it took Geno year 10 just to kind of make a name for himself. Sam Darnold, it took him bouncing around a couple of teams just for him to get his career back together. But in a nutshell, it all goes back to coaching. You get what I mean? For Geno's situation, he happened to be in the right system in Pete Carroll. Right now, he's being reunited with Pete Carroll in Vegas. So, I'm going to see him flourish out there. As far for Sam Darnold, man, I just think that we just got a one hit wonder out of him, out of Minnesota. I just think that Kevin O'Connell did a great job in his development. But by him going to Seattle now, I don't know who's their offensive coordinator. I think it's Clint Kubiak, the son of Gary Kubiak.
Yeah.
I don't consider him as a quarterback whisperer. So I just feel like Darnold will go back into reality. Like we're about to get the old Darnold.
That was one season. I need to see more. I need to see more.
That's why I was kind of skeptical why the Vikings didn't. I was kind of skeptical on why the Vikings did not re-sign him.
Well, they got that young guy the McCarthy.
Yeah.
They got to see what McCarthy gonna do. But
man. Just like y'all was talking about with patience, they trying to have some patience with the rookie. He hasn't played yet. He showed some flashes during the preseason before he got injured.
Right.
So he might be okay, but right now all teams are feeling good about their team.
Right.
Every team's confident, but we all know there's gonna be somebody who ends up with the first overall pick.
Go
ahead.
You know what I just thought about? As far as remember how we was just talking about they don't want to give no competition to Tua, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was one of few individuals who always felt like the best competition for Tua at that time within these past couple of years would have been Joshua Dobbs.
Mm.
And
The engineer guy.
yeah, and the reason I say that is because he's not that expensive, right? At that time, he wasn't that expensive. And then two, he can learn the playbook super fast. You know what I'm saying? Every scheme he's been a part of, he's thrived in. I can't even tell you where Joshua Dobbs at right now, bro.
New England.
New England?
New England as a backup to Drake May.
Wow. That's a good backup, man. That's a good contingency plan. Or why didn't we go get old boy who was already on New England, who's from the crib?
Joe Milton.
The black guy.
Joe Milton.
Milton.
He's a
No,
Florida
he from around my way, my county.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a Palm Beach boy. Okay.
Yeah. So he played his freshman, sophomore year. He was in that place where they stuff.
Yeah, right. The country.
Yeah, he from the country. Talent that come out of there. And then I guess his peoples moved up to Orlando. And then he went to Olympia High School.
Okay.
And then after Olympia, he signed with Michigan. Then he transferred away from Michigan because J.J. McCarthy beat him out. And he went to Tennessee. And then that's how he ended up with the Patriots.
Milton.
Oh, he's the backup
With the
to Dak
Cowboys.
Prescott.
Yeah.
Hey, see, everybody got a good contingency plan. What's going on here?
Like everybody solidified that, hey, just in case if our quarterback don't work, we got backup. Seattle Seahawks. If Sam Darnold don't work, they got Jalen Milroe.
Yeah. I think Milroe should start over Donald around week 4.
You know what they gonna do, bro? If Sam Darnold don't work, they're gonna say F it and then just run that Jalen Hurts offense.
I can see that.
That's why I'm not sure if you guys read his contract, Sam Darnold's contract. It was supposed to be like a 3-year deal. I think 100 mil. I think 100 something. But it's essentially a 1-year deal. So in other words, they don't have to pay him for the next 2 years.
Oh,
if they don't want to.
No, they fleeced him.
You see me? I'm not signing that. You crazy?
That's what I'm not signing that.
Yeah, like you telling me like that's like you telling a dime that you know what? I'm gonna just stay with you for a year. I'll let you know after that year if it's going well. You know,
right?
So you can't do me like that. Nah, I'm sorry.
And you know what's crazy, Raphael? I know what quarterback you're talking about. He played against the U. I think it was last year. The year before.
We're talking about
the quarterback that Raphael talking about. He's talking about the quarterback for Duke. What's his name? His I think he put him on there. What's his name?
Riley Leonard or Messiah?
Yeah, that kid right there. Yeah, he's dynamic. He's definitely dynamic.
Sure. I gotta do a little reaction. I told Raphael I was gonna react to that for him. So, I can't do it on YouTube. I'm gonna get striked. So I probably have to go on Twitch and Kick and do that.
He said he coming out in 2027.
2027.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I don't think I got
let's
the
see what else
patience.
Weaver got to say.
2027. That's too long, though.
Way too long.
You gotta stay down till you come up. But I don't want to be down that
long. Is it key just to have bigger bodies, more athletic bodies? I mean, there's a lot of zone coverage, which takes a lot of instincts, a lot of understanding. Mm-hmm. These guys are relatively green.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Well, one, I think it's a size and speed league, right? And particularly in today's game, when a lot of defenses are playing a lot of split safety shell with smaller backers that have to eliminate space because it's such a space game. You better have the requisite girth up front to keep those guys clean. I thought the guys last year obviously played admirably. I think we finished 9th in run defense. The standard will be the same, if not better, for these guys. And they got some of the best teachers in the world with Coach Clark, Kenzie Khan. We've had Pete Jenkins here for the past few days. I've been extremely blessed to have his wisdom and expertise here. So I expect no fall off from the front, regardless of the youth movement.
What was your initial reaction when you heard the news about Jalen Ramsey? Not just that he wanted to leave, but the organization is willing to trade him.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I've been in this league too long that anything I hear at this point, like, I have very little reaction to it, other than COVID. That one I had a little bit of a reaction to. But this game, things change by the day, right? And I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ramsey. He played very good ball for us. But shoot, relationships are hard, right? And both mutually we've chosen to go other ways, and I respect that, and I wish him nothing but the best moving forward.
How do you manage that?
Yeah, he's gone.
Of him being a big part of your defense last year. A little bit sudden. I don't know how much heads up you had, but a sudden change to having to adjust maybe your scheme a little bit for different players.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, right? That's the league. The one thing I know, whether it's through injury during the season or what's happening here with us with Jalen, I'm not getting any sympathy cards from anybody, right? It's my job and our job collectively as a staff to find a way to make these pieces work. And what I know is every player that is here is trying to get better, and they've bought in. So just really pleased with where we're at this point.
A lot of people
the push was remains.
Okay. Yeah.
What is your reaction to that?
I'm glad we added a 340-pounder, right? He should help a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
We were talking a little bit about Jalen, but the other cornerbacks in your room, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on them, obviously, because of maybe some youth in that room.
Yeah.
What do you know about your group and some of the guys that are maybe competing for those starting spots at this point?
Yeah. To this point, all I've seen is a bunch of guys who are competitive, are tough, and are just hungry to get better. And usually when you have that combination with good coaching, you're going to find a way to make it work. Ultimately, the cream will rise to the top, but I have ultimate faith in all the guys in that corner room right now who are going to go out there and play for us.
You talked about the front a little bit earlier and the depth and the youth of it all. Last year you guys kind of got a little bit wiped out early on and had to use Zach and Calais more outside. I'm curious how much, maybe not behind the A-ball, but how much of a challenge was it to overcome that? And then was there some intentionality about the way you guys built out the front seven this year? Because linebacker, edge, defensive tackle, you guys added so much since that was.
Yeah. Whenever you're faced with those obstacles, right? Usually, like, the obstacle's away, so you got to find a way through them. I thought as a staff we did a good job of whatever deficiencies we were trying to hide of masking those. That to me is that's why we have the coach tag on our chest, right? A lot of guys can get up here and complain about personnel. I promise you, we will never do that. Ultimately, we're going to find a way with a bunch of guys that are volunteers and not hostages, right? That want to get better. And if we do that and we can find a way to play as one collective unit, which is what we're always chasing, we're going to play good defense. Whichever combination of 11, however this shakes out, we will play good defense because of the conviction and the trust that they'll have in one another.
Time for a couple more, guys.
What's your level?
I mean, I just get a different vibe whenever he talk, man. It's like he talk like a president, dog.
Yeah, he got that Obama feel to him.
You know,
like he's saying all the right things, bro. And like Raphael said, you don't hear the ums and the like you know how McDaniels be like going around in circles just to get to the one point.
Yeah,
he's clear cut and precise with what he wants to say and how he wants to say it. Because when I see McDaniels doing the adversity meets opportunity and all of this stuff, it just make me feel like he's bullcrapping the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like as long as he is clear cut and precise with how he feels and what direction he wants to go with the team, I think that can definitely be a benefit to us.
At least we got a coach that's the opposite kind of Mike McDaniel. Somebody that could even it out,
right?
Sometimes they say opposites attract. That Vic Fangio opposite did not attract with Mike McDaniel, but this opposite is a better opposite for Mike McDaniel based off him as a head coach. A guy that's not too old. He an old head. Vic Fangio, he was definitely an old head. Two different generations, to be honest. So now he got a guy who better suits him. But now they're in a situation as to where we don't really have enough personnel like we did back in the day. You know, like we don't got Christian Wilkins no more. We don't got Xavier Howard. We don't got Jalen Ramsey no more. You know, we got a whole new different crew. The only veteran that we can hang our hat on now is Zach Sealer. That's the only one. Everybody else is just like we're hoping for the best from him, but we just don't know yet. You know, Chop Robinson, we had a good year last year, but can he capitalize off of that and show us that he's an elite player for 10 plus years for the Dolphins? We don't know if he's gonna show us that yet. So
right, the optimism is there for sure, but it's just like I just rather somebody that's clear cut and precise and knows what they want to say, rather than somebody kind of like making me feel like I'm being like finagled or BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Weaver, he give me that feeling like, man, things might really be all right. And it,
yeah, because I got pumped up watching this. I was like, yes, sir. You know, I'm sitting in my room, like this is what we need. And you know, as far as Vic Fangio is concerned, Vic Fangio is a hell of a defensive coach. But what didn't mix is he's very serious. He's very straight to business. Like he wants you to play that position and play it to the best of your ability. No roaming around. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Ramsey wanted to play here, wanted to play there. No, stay right here, do your job. You know what I'm saying? Keep everything in front of us. And you know, it's a bend, don't break type thing. With this guy, he plays a lot with the safeties and he likes to kind of like have mixed packages. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might see 3 safeties on the field damn near. You know what I'm saying? You never know what he's coming with. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like his blitz packages. And I think they're both good defensive coordinators. It's just one person just makes me feel like, you know, I can actually listen to him rather than like you getting that Bill Belichick straight like monotone. Yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah, like I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect head coach. The person I think that's the closest, I got to give it to Sean McVay.
Yeah, I love Sean
McVay. You know, young, energetic, innovative with the offense. I think he's like the closest thing to perfect. You know how
to draft well, team play physical, hard. Love Sean McVay.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you could put Sean McVay on any team, he gonna be able to turn that team up. You know, so that's what you call an elite head coach, a very good head coach, a coach who could do that. So
for sure, turn water into wine over there.
Confidence that your 3 top edge rushers are going to be available to you and playing at the level that everybody expects.
Guys, I'm confident every day. Every day I wake up on the right side of the dirt, I wake up confident. So I have the utmost faith in those guys and God's grace that they're going to be on that field and play 17 for us.
If I can ask a little bit big picture, obviously you came through first year of running your scheme yourself. As you scout, it's like self-scout on maybe what the league doing in trends. What do you see as maybe what offenses will try to do to maybe combat your style of defense or those style of defenses across the league?
Yeah, I think we saw it a little bit towards the end of the year, right? We play with a lot of air underneath, so people screen us. They're trying to force, you know, our under coverage up so they can create those throwing lanes behind them and the safeties. People are going to try to run the ball, right? We've tried to address that. But I know the one thing that we have to do is we have to find a way to take the ball away. As well as I think we played defensively at times a year ago, think of how much better it could have been if we could have had 6 less possessions because of turnovers and takeaways. So that's been a point of emphasis for us and will continue to be all offseason.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to.
Shout out to Anthony Weaver. Hopefully he can get our defense right this year. Next, we got the DB coach. I haven't heard from him ever. You watched this one?
Yeah, I seen that one too. He like from my take from this before we watch this is he sounds very knowledgeable. He seems like he has confidence in you know development as far as the players on the roster are concerned. I mean, nothing he said seemed like out of the ordinary, and he didn't seem like he was bullshitting. It's just more so like, you know, we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I gotta get his tone. He sound like a Florida boy.
No. He looked like
Yeah,
Brandon
he
Jones
do
though.
a little bit.
Kendall traded, Kendall Fuller released, the team not picking up a corner in the first wave of free agency or at the top of the draft. Do you think a secondary can still operate without maybe like that type of investment in a cornerback? You can still operate with the guys.
Yeah, all of that to me doesn't matter. It matters about who we have on our roster, how well we develop them, how well they do their job, and as a unit, all 11 guys working together and putting the best product on the field. Where a guy came from, where we got him from, all of that is secondary to once they're here, what they do. So that's our focus. That's definitely my focus, and I'd say that focus has been put on the field through phase 1 and phase 2, and it's been phenomenal. So that's really where our mental is at, and we're not too concerned about where guys came from, just now that they're here, what they do.
I think a big,
One thing about DB coaches, I like the young, energetic guys for the DBs. The old head coaches, I don't mind those guys being like the O-line, D-line coaches.
Yeah.
To be honest, but like a guy like this is the perfect guy for a DB.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can see him slapping helmets on the sideline and get it pumped up with the guy.
Exactly, bro. Like he'll go out there and cover somebody right now. Like, what's up? I like your ass down, man. Like, it seemed like he ready to play. Like, he could put on pads.
Contract too.
Exactly. We don't. If you want to get an old DB coach, you could go right ahead. But you would rather your DB coach be young, linebacker coach. It don't really matter. In my opinion, a D-line coach, D-line coaches, I think they gotta be like, they gotta be fat.
Mm-hmm.
You need a fat D-line coach,
or no neck, just no neck, riding on the golf course.
No neck, fat, bald.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a D-line coach.
Brolic and shit.
Yeah, an O-line coach probably like a blunt or old blunt. Hit.
I think about the guy who rolled like when I played. I used to play DB a little bit, right? And the defensive line coach was always like exactly how you describe it, except mine. He used to ride around on a golf cart. Bro, man, he's not even
man,
screaming he be screaming at you from the golf cart, bro.
You see,
that's
exactly how you know he too big. He too big.
Too big.
Crazy, man.
Part of that is a belief that Cam Smith can turn the corner. What have you seen out of him that could maybe lead you to believe that would be the case?
Cam's been awesome. He's here every day. He's working hard. The biggest thing that I talked to him about for this offseason is development. His rookie year, he came in. As a rookie, you're just trying to figure stuff out. Last year, he had a lot of injuries in and out of the lineup, so he didn't really get to develop. So our offseason, our whole purpose of showing up every day is to develop. His development is going to lead to his success on the field, and we leave it at that. We don't set what we want it to look like, how we want it to get there, how fast it should get there. It's really just focusing on his development, and he's done an awesome job at that. He is locked in. He's showing up every day. He's learning. He's playing fast, and he's being a great teammate. So he's doing everything we're asking him to do.
What do you think are Chase?
Okay, Cam Smith. Okay. You seeing Jalen Ramsey? He on the trade block, so you got to act right now.
Mm-hmm. I heard he bulking up a little bit, but
I gotta see to believe it.
We gonna see, man. Like I said, Mr. Double Move. Once that double move happen, I get worried for him.
We gonna see, man. What's the first game again? Steelers or Colts?
Scratch that. I want to see the first preseason game against the Bears. I want to see how he is. Keenan Allen still over there?
Nah, he's not.
Oh well, I'll put Cam Smith on whoever the best receiver is just to see how he fare, bro. You got to throw him off the deep end now because it's what second, third year.
Let me see. Let me just search up the schedule real quick. Miami Dolphins schedule 2025.
Raphael said Colts.
Dolphins will be playing the Bears on August 10th at 1 p.m.
Okay. So, yeah, they are playing the Bears. So, they receivers, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. They got Luther Burden. They got a tight end, Colston Loveland. They got DeAndre Swift. I heard that Nick Chubb, if he doesn't sign anywhere by July, it will be with the Bears. That's what I heard.
Oh,
So the Bears gonna have DeAndre Swift and Nick Chubb. They used to be teammates at Georgia.
what?
So
Yeah, that'd be a
that would be a deadly running back room, deadly receivers. So that's gonna be a tough game, but it's a preseason game. Preseason game,
Yeah,
but that's gonna be good competition.
right. We got a lot. I love these preseason matchups, bro. I'm excited. To see, I can't wait to see people get on the ground and get running because I'm excited about the Lions. That's physical team. I want to see how them boys go after it. You know what I'm saying, against the Lions. They got so many guys like Laporta. They got the 2 running backs. You know what I'm saying.
But look, remember, fam, it's preseason. We're not gonna really see him like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. But still, we need to throw him out there. We got to throw him in the deep end. You feel me? Because that's the only way we can know if he can swim or not, right?
But it'll probably be more like a series, and they'll put the main thing Dolphin fans gonna be watching for: Quinn Ewers, Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
they're not gonna let Tua go in that much. It's gonna be a first half Quinn Ewers, second half Zach Wilson. First half Quinn Ewers, second half Zach Wilson. Who performs better to get that QB2 spot? That's what we did last year with Mike White and Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, Mike who? Skylar who?
Mike White.
No, I'm playing.
My bad. But let me go back to the DB coach.
Marshall's strengths.
Obviously, just easy. You can see on paper he's a big corner. He moves really well, and he's a super efficient and productive mover. So as a big corner, being able to get your hands on and still keep your feet under you, that allows you to cover a big variety of receiver. What he's doing a great job of in this offseason is the things that
One thing I like that he said, he's able to cover a big variety of receiver. So I feel like that's the main reason why the Dolphins selected Jason Marshall, because of his size, his speed mixed. That kind of puts you in a place as to where you could cover anybody. And that's like the mold that you want as an X receiver. You know? You know, the Dolphins not dying for a receiver not a receiver, but a corner like Asante Samuel, with that size. But as of right now, like I told you earlier, he the best option, so we don't got no choice.
Right.
He pinpointed throughout his college career that we want to improve on, and we can make adjustments to get him to be super productive. That's what we're working on right now, and he's doing phenomenal at that.
How hard do you think it is in this league for a rookie to contribute right away? Any rookie? Yeah, I mean, it's 100%. It's difficult. It's definitely doable. You look at our last 3 years, Cater, Ethan played. Obviously, Storm played last year. So 3 years in a row, we've had guys. They all happen to be undrafted, but again, that doesn't matter to me. We all had guys in their first year contribute. So that's getting the right people. Obviously, they have to have the skill set to do it, but it's also getting the right makeup. They got to be someone who's going to show up, put in the work, put their head down, learn, and then be able to apply it on the field. So that's our job through the whole process of finding the right guys who can do that. And then once they come in and they can apply it all, if you put it all together, you put it all together. But there's always a natural learning curve for all of them. Some do it better and faster than others, and you try to find that football instinct that can help apply stuff quickly. But I'd say it's a case-by-case basis. It's definitely difficult, though. I mean, you're covering the best athletes in the field, so it's not an easy task.
I know he's done it some, but will there be possibly even more opportunities for Cater Kohu to show some positional versatility in the slot and also?
Yeah. What's awesome about, so when I got here, it was 4 years ago, it was Cater's rookie year. So like we've grown in the NFL together. So for me, it's been awesome to see his growth and development. Obviously, he showed his versatility last year. We came in with a plan into the offseason last year on what we wanted to develop in his game. We came in with a plan of schematically how we could use him in different ways, and he bought into that. He took all the time in the offseason and training camp to apply the things we talked about, and obviously he had a great result as we got into the season. So his versatility is an asset for us. Everyone around him, and same thing with him, he's got to continue to develop, but that versatility is only as useful as the pieces around the versatility. If he moves around and that makes the job harder for somebody else, we got to find what's the best way for us to win. So he showed he can do it. Great. We have that. We'll work around it. As much as we can use everyone's skill set, we'll do that.
Has there been anyone in particular who you've been impressed by so far?
Honestly, I'm not going to put anyone specific because this group as a whole, we set what we want this offseason to look like, and we have done that. So I'm extremely excited about where everyone's mindset is at in building a culture and setting a standard and upholding that standard every day. So we've done a phenomenal job at that as a position group. The expectation is for that to get 1% better every day, but they've been doing that, so the whole group's been awesome.
I guess a better way to phrase that is, who has stepped up as a leader, or leaders with the loss of, I mean, not the loss, but the eventual loss of
Yeah.
Jalen and,
Yeah, I think naturally Cater's done a great job because he's been here. He understands. For the rookies, he gives a great perspective of a guy who came in as a free agent and played right away and what that took for him to do that. So he's naturally stepped into it just by him being one of the older guys on how the room shook out and also his experience. Artie Burns has been in the league for a while. Kendall Sheffield has been in the league for a while. So those guys have a unique perspective also just on their path and their strategy to improve and what they've done to help them still be in the, in their careers for this long. So I think the natural leaders, just from how long they've been in the league, they've done a good job at stepping up and helping those young guys come along.
Shout out to the DB coach.
That talking.
You said what?
I said he talking that talk, ain't he?
Yeah, he seemed cool, but like I said, it don't seem like he got a big resume behind him. That's the thing about him.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is more so like what I'll tell y'all is like everything is good, but like let's not buy into the hype just yet. You know what I'm saying? Let's let a couple games go by, because everybody could sell you rainbows and sunshine, but let's see the results, you know what I'm saying? And then we decide how we want to, evaluate, you feel me? Because what the number one problem I have with Dolphins fans is the fact that we get excited. Like when we see a little potential, bruh, we ready to anoint a Super Bowl team, bro.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
We can't do that, bruh.
I'm one of them, but like you want to just have confidence in regards to we did what we could in regards to improving the team. We think that we did, but sometimes some other teams can improve their team better than your team, which leaves you at a standstill. And now you got to do whatever you can to be better than the best team in the NFL. So you watched the Eagles last year and you seen what their strengths and weaknesses were. So now you got to try to build your team to be the kryptonite to that team. So if Eagles have the best O-line in the NFL, create the best D-line to go up against that strength of their team. So now it kind of becomes like a even ground or weakness. And then that's where we get the advantage. We get pass rush on Jalen Hurts. He can't even get the ball off to A.J. Brown. So that's how you build a team, a winning team that could beat the great teams. Solidifying the O-line and D-line because most of the great teams have good O-lines and D-lines.
Right. No, I agree, bro. This probably be my my last one to go over because I'm about to start to spend a little time with Melo because I don't got him that long.
Okay, bet. This one's like 1 minute, so
for sure.
This is Robert Parents. He gonna talk about Tyreek Hill. Give a little takes. Did you watch this one?
Bro, I watched all of them.
You watched all of them? Damn.
Yeah. The reason
I ain't watched none
is because I just, bro, like I said, I'm like an excited Dolphins fan too at times, bro. But then I have to think about it and I have to scale it back. Because, like, if you notice, the Dolphins, we were one of the teams that actually okayed the tush push. You feel me? So I'm like, why would a team that barely run the play be an advocate of the play? You feel me? And it got me to thinking. And what it actually made me think, bro, it was like, okay, we want it to be even playing field. And, that's like them taking like a free throws out of basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's still a basketball play. You know what I'm saying? It's still a part of the game. So I get that aspect. But if we're gonna do that as a team, we got to make sure that we can win in multi a multitude of ways. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just the little bubble screens. So I'm interested. Like let's hear what Robert Price got to say about his receivers, man.
Let's go.
You take in Jalen Waddle here too. So what have you seen in his game that maybe you can add to now that you take him under your wings?
Well, the thing with Jalen, he's a very explosive player, very dynamic. When the ball's in the air, he can go get it, and then when he has the ball in his hand, he's a dynamic run after catch guy. So we're just again working on our techniques and fundamentals to try to get better.
What are your impressions of Malik Washington? You take him in after he had a rookie season, and where you can take his game.
Yeah, I feel like Malik's gonna. Working hard to try to get a big jump from year 1 to year 2. He's great in the classroom. He could say whatever we coach, he could say it verbatim, and on the field, he's one of our hardest workers.
From a philosophy standpoint,
with Malik Washington, bro, that's who I'm most excited about, bro. I seen what he was last year, and we was using him on like the little end arounds and the sweeps and reverses and stuff like that. But he actually is a very good receiver. Even though he's very undersized, in that slot, he's gonna give you way more than what Berrios could have ever gave you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about him, bro.
I feel like his snap count is reliant in regards to Tyreek Hill's health.
Yeah, but I mean, you can find ways to sneak him on the field. Like let's say you got him because we do a lot of motion, right? You put him in motion, that's something that they got to respect now. You know what I'm saying? Because you see what he could do with the sweep. So you put him in motion, you leave Tyreek where he at, whatever, and then let him set up, and then you might have Tyreek kind of like fake like he's about to go in motion and stay still. You know what that does? It gives Tua the opportunity to see whether they're in man or they're in zone. You feel me? So that's a big weapon, bro.
But hey, that shout out to the Shanahan people, the Sean McVay people. They thought about it and they capitalized off of it, and it's not considered cheating. It's just you motioning, and on top of that, the Dolphins, they take it to the extreme in regards to okay, we could get the advantage of using our speed before the snap count. All right, bet we definitely gonna get Tyreek Hill. We already got Jalen Waddle, so we could pretty much just make this the fastest team in the NFL. So we could be at an advantage when we're running those motions.
Mm-hmm.
So Dolphins think they slick, but we peep everything y'all got going on. But sometimes having too much speed and not having the weight on your team, you end up getting bullied by the guys who have the size and the speed as well.
Because when they get cold, that don't translate well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely doesn't, man.
I believe you were with the Cowboys last year. How does it coaching a CD different from coaching a Tyreek Hill?
Good question.
The thing with both those guys, I mean, they're both phenomenal players and hard workers. Talking about Tyreek again, it's been great. He is a hard worker and one of the hardest competitors. All he wants to do is win, and he brings great energy out of the field. And the guy wants to be coached, and he wants to be great. So that's how I'm going to coach him.
Just moments from a...
Okay, surprising hearing that from him.
Yeah.
About Tyreek. But, hey, if Tyreek over there taking the coaching seriously from him, he's not taking him as a joke, then we going to be all right, man. We going to be all right. I got this one video of Tyreek, I just wanted to show you before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he getting back into health, good shape.
Okay.
All of those opportunities and win the lab. This year we in the lab, bro. We weren't in the lab how we supposed to be last year, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stat with y'all, gang.
Okay.
I fucked up.
Huh?
Hold on. I said okay, and I like the accountability, bro. I like the accountability.
But look, you remember you ain't see what he said?
Lab. This year we in the
last year we wasn't in the lab. What does that mean?
Right. That means they wasn't really getting together working like that. And then Raphael just said Tyreek Hill be posting workouts live on Twitch.
Oh, for real? I might have to go.
Yeah, I might tap in on that, see what's going on. Boy, Raphael, man, who you working with the Dolphins, man? Talk to me, man.
Shit, I'm about to search him up on Twitch right now.
Yeah, Raphael might well become a reporter, man.
Shit, I'm about to search him up on Twitch right now. Like I'm on my own stream on Twitch.
Raphael might well become a reporter, man.
Thank you, Tyrell. No, thank you, Raf. I'm up on Twitch right now. Like I'm on my own stream on Twitch. His
You
name
know,
Cheetah.
reporter, man.
Thank you, Tyra. No, thank you, Raf. I'm up on Twitch right now. Like I'm on my own stream on Twitch. His name Cheetah.
Reporter, man.
It gotta thank be. You, Tyra. No, thank you, Raf. I'm up on Twitch right now. Like I'm on my own stream on Twitch. His name Cheetah. Okay, there you go. It gotta be Tyra. No, thank you.
I'm gonna start tuning in.
Taco Bell's $5.79 Lux.
He got the whole stream too. Okay.
He got time on there.
Including the
yeah.
flavor of the Cantina chicken burrito. For less, choose your Lux Cravings box only.
I might have to hop on this stream my workout.
They said they be chatting with the chat, man.
How he chatting with the chat and he working out?
I guess when he get done with the workout, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. You know, but Raf said that Reek dropped his weight. You know, I was scared to say something about Reek looking like bigger than he used to. I was scared to say something about that because, you know, he the fastest man on earth. You know, the fastest man in the NFL. But, you know, low key, I be watching the game. I'm like, man, Tyreek Hill, he never looked that big, bro. So it kind of looked like it was slowing him down a little bit. You know, same thing with Lamar Jackson. That other year where he dropped the weight to be faster. I feel like Tyreek Hill noticed, like, man, I need to get faster a little bit quicker as possible. So
you know what? You know what I think affected him too? Because the NFL wanted Tyreek to wear socks with his uniform, right? He was wearing cleats with no socks. You feel me? So when you wear like just the other day, my coworkers tried me, right? Because you know they thought they thought it was sweet over here, bro. I took my shoes off, bro. Took everything off. Had to dust them, bro. But the thing is, you run faster when you don't have like socks. So you feel like you could grip the shoe and you could grip the earth. You feel me? So that's what he was doing. He was no socks. You know what I'm saying? And now they forced him to wear socks again. So that played a factor. Then the wrist played a factor. Then you know the team was out of the quarterback. You know, then you got relationship problems outside of work. You know what I'm saying? So he just had too much going on, bro. You got to focus on just one thing at a time. You feel me?
Yeah. Crazy. You see the gunman in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'm watching Cheetah streaming right now. We don't really know.
Well, whoever done faded my boy up did a good job, man.
Huh?
Whoever faded my boy up did a good job.
Oh yeah.
He
a new man. I look like Tyreek with the dreads. I'm not even gonna cap, dog.
Yeah, it gave him Florida feel, don't it?
Yeah.
That was a different Tyreek right there. You need to get Waddle out there, man. Where Waddle at?
You know, them boys, they don't work. I mean, we don't see none whenever them boys supposed to be working together.
I know I seen one clip one time, bro. They was at like some type of school or whatever, getting some routes in. But that was a little minute ago. I think that's when he first came to the team. I think Tyreek, Waddle be in Houston.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, bro, it don't like to be. In my opinion, it don't matter, you know. But like, if you go on Twitter and call them boys out, man, y'all boys don't practice together. I don't see no videos. They gonna come back at you and be like,
"Yeah,
what makes you think that we not practicing together? Just because we're not posting it, don't mean that we're not working."
Right. Which is true.
Which is true, but at the same time, like, bro, we ain't seen nothing. Like every time we see y'all not together. So we need some type of proof.
Yeah.
You know, so I
He said
don't know.
at the beginning, bro, was very telling, bro. If the media like Omar Kelly or Alan Poupart or anybody get a hold of that with him saying that right there, bro, whoa, that's gonna get blown out of proportion, bro. Hey, that actually should be the clickbait right there. Tyreek not working out last year.
Shoot, I mean, let me see if I could get to that part, man. Oh, we already watched it, but that was just like a cut up of this part. You know.
Just the ability to just send it back, bro.
I think I'm big.
Yo, Raphael killed me, dog.
that way got that hammerhead chart,
Yeah.
head shape. If you check Reek chat, I told Reek I wasn't made of Marine in one day. Get some. I got hella wet.
Yeah, I tell
I
you.
got hella wet. You thank me for my
Raphael,
food. What?
man? Raphael, what you drinking over there, man?
Oh man, I said the same thing the other stream
Yeah.
about Raphael, man. Raphael be wilding in the comments, bro. For real.
Gotta love it, man.
That Tyreek do look like he got smaller. You know, them big ass locks.
Yeah, he put that work. With that ankle.
Well, other videos. He got the game. He got a lot of videos up on his page.
Yeah, I'm gonna check him out tonight, man. Shout out to Raphael for putting me on, man.
He got the whole Cali stream. Shoot. When you leave, bro, I might just sit here and watch it real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely tune in myself, bro. And don't get me wrong, man. I jump off here. That don't mean I'm jumping off from tuning in. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, so you might see me in the comment section next, man. Me and Raphael, chat it up.
Hold on, use this.
My bad, amigos.
Nah, it ain't your bad, Raphael. We just trying to see what's in that cup, man. We just trying to see what's in that
You good, man. You good. Whatever you got, we want it.
It look like you need the law.
Yeah, that's that one streamer kid. I don't know his name, but
Neon.
yeah.
You said you can get more girls than me. You challenged me. And you called them over here just to like.
I thought someone was gonna start initiating some shit.
Oh, we initiated.
I used to play this game.
We vibing. You the one who brought it up, gang. Hold it. Somebody said 0 hour.
You love reading that chat, don't you?
Yep.
No, chat, we're describing in one word.
Huh?
Oh, he trying to get chat to roast.
All right, bet. Punks him pull female. But yeah, appreciate you, JP, for putting up on me.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back with it, man. You know, this next time you see me, I'll be back I'll be back somewhere else, but I'll be back at the crib. Right now I'm at the family house.
We're gonna be waiting on that. You already know you're always welcome, and you got the link. So.
Yeah, we're gonna get right. All right.
But yeah, Ralph, I'm gonna watch that bit right now. We're gonna see what I think. I skipped over the part. I don't know what part I'm at.
I'm about to say, I can tell chat that you in one word. Virgin.
What'd you say?
Virgin.
Somebody say you're beautiful, bro.
I appreciate that, chat.
That's the only thing I said. They said gorillas.
Hey, listen, everyone be respectful. Let's not say any slurs. They're saying, what?
I messed up what you just did to them two young ladies.
Now go buy them a drink, bro.
Now you gotta go pay for their food.
I'll pay for it.
Go pay for it.
No, they wanted to be a part of the stream.
Tell them you're gonna pay for their food for interrupting them, bro.
They love the stream. They said they just want to get a camera.
Cool, but you still interrupted their dinner and wasted their time.
No, but they wanted to be on here.
Okay, Ralph.
Pay for two random people.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm gonna watch this for a little bit, and then we're gonna go.
I like it.
I love your tattoos, by the way, man. Let's go compliment for compliment. I like your tattoos. I like your hat.
Got some nice glasses, bro.
Thank you.
Is this in Florida? This is Miami.
Nice haircut.
I love your beard.
Wait, is he flirting with Tyreek?
Shit hard, ain't it?
Your turn. Listen, your turn.
Hey, bro, you the best at this streaming shit, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. You know what? Let's just leave it at that. Fuck, I love it. Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, when are we racing, bro?
Whenever we check, come on, let go right now. Come on. We'll be right back. We'll be right back, yeah.
Somebody pay for the bill.
Oh, them was running off on the bill?
No.
Roar, hold this real quick. Hold that, my damn hand hurt.
They got the whole camera crew out there and everything.
You got it? Terry, can you put this on? Alright, let's do this race. May the best man win.
This is what Tyreek Hill doing. This is what he doing. You over here saying like he doing what he doing. But this is what he doing for real. That's not Miami. That gotta be Cali. That's Cali. That was Mother's Day.
That was amazing. Yes, you too. Alright, let me stretch out if you want to stretch out. Hold the close on, man.
Yeah, Fram's so unathletic, bro. Neon's so unathletic.
You're gonna give me a head start. So, this is my routine that I do every morning. Before we race it. Oh, my bad.
Oh, them boys about to race? Oh, heck no. Mommy, Daniel know about?
Alright, ready. Let's go. Okay, let's go.
You was really about to race? Bro, who's that guy in the banana suit?
He took off on y'all that, didn't he?
And that's why she. Banana beat me. Did Peely beat me too?
Yep.
I lost to Peely, bro.
You watched, gang.
I beat. Bro, I probably in a 100-yard race, I probably can give you a 40-yard lead.
You know what? I'll put up. Whenever you heal, I'll put up 10K cash in a 1v1 basketball. I swear to God on my life.
Yeah, don't lose your money.
Well, I mean, I saw your contract. You don't care about 10K, but come on, man, let's do it.
I'll beat you right now, 10K. One-on-one basketball.
Right now.
Yes, bro.
Boy, our whole crew will beat you 1v1.
Who?
Our whole crew.
Okay, let me ask this guy. Real quick, brother. Quick question. Have you ever seen me play basketball?
I think so.
Am I good or no?
Nah. He's trash?
Yeah.
Oh damn!
What they call you?
Even your own.
And now he won't take a picture.
I'm going over there to take that picture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I get a picture with Tyreek gave you?
Oh, not even me. I was kidding. I'm just going.
Both, bro. Yes, bro. Yes. Right. Whatever you want.
Oh man, bro. Does Jay get any better?
Where's the ice cream? Oh, ice cream right here.
I got the picture. All right, at least ice cream on me. At least.
Is that what you want, bro?
If me and Tyreek were hanging off of a cliff, what do you say?
Tyreek.
Yo, I wasn't. Come on, man.
No clue. No clue.
Just say that you
put too much pressure on it.
That's fucking
genius. Right now, everybody noticing you.
Coffee? I got butter pecan. Butter pecan.
Hey, I got butter pecan. I'm trying to skip to the good part.
Alright.
What do I do? Ah, shit.
Now you're gonna say.
It's my time to shine, chat.
Oh. And then a countdown. Be like, doesn't your season start in 2 months? You're just mouthing it out.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Doesn't your season start in 2 months? I should probably get some. Oh, sure. You want some ice cream?
That's Tyreek Hill dad right there.
I got a raise, listen.
Yeah, that's Tyreek Hill dad.
Yeah. I'm enjoying my ice cream. Where Nina and them at? I think they still in the same spot. I'm gonna go do another Cashapp.
Tyreek, can I get a picture with you real quick?
Where y'all come from?
What you mean? We live here.
Y'all live here?
Yeah.
It's a high school here?
Yeah.
On the island?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun how it's a high school here though. Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's a high school here.
Wow.
We living wrong, bro.
Yes, please.
That's the best way to ask. Thank you. I got you.
Neon, welcome back. You remember the welcome back?
Hey, come on, if you going, come on.
It's my city. No, I'm kidding. That's why everyone knows it.
I knew it, bro.
Nah, I came here once to stream.
Come on, Neon.
Do you remember me? Huh?
Homeless
Mario? Oh yeah, you were homeless.
Yeah.
Look for that part. Still looking.
Yeah.
Is this the girl right here?
You're on TikTok. Yeah. I'm on
Let's go, bro. I'm behind y'all. Let's go.
What's that?
I'm behind y'all. Let's go.
Nice to meet you, man.
Oh damn.
All right, let's go. I'll meet you there.
Okay, Tyreek. I don't know. You playing with fire. You playing with fire. Is this the girl right here? Is this the girl that he was trying to talk to? Let me know, Raphael. This one or the other one? He definitely put it down on this female.
I bet. He gets me back to be crazy though.
And she licking her lips and everything, man. Yeah, low key. I was seeing her. I'm like, man, she looked like his ex-wife, Picaro. She looked like her a little bit, like a replica. I thought it was her for a little bit. Oh damn. Oh damn. Ooh, that's a tough one right there, man. I might get in trouble if I expose Tyreek like that. I might get in trouble if I expose Tyreek. I might get in trouble. And he just got video game videos. I'm not going to sit here and watch him play video games. You know, but hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Raphael. Definitely going to clip that, and I'm going to post that on my YouTube so other people could see. Definitely going to clip that for sure. We got some more coaches we're going to react to. I'm trying to see which one we're going to do next. Okay, so we got Bobby Slowick. He came from Houston Texans last year. So he had time with CJ Stroud. We hoping that he could show us some flashes in regards to what CJ Stroud did the other year. Let's see if he could implement that into Tua's game. You know, one thing about this coach right here, you know, he low-key got let go by the Texans based off of what happened with all the receivers being injured. You know, everybody put the blame on him in regards to all those receivers with the Texans getting injured. So we're hoping the same thing does not happen with Miami. But if the same thing happens with Miami, you could see a downgrade again in regards to Bobby Slowick. There was some point in time as to where everybody thought that he was going to be a head coach, you know, until the bad things started to happen with the receivers. And now he's back as in passing game coordinator. So nobody really trusts him at this current moment. So right now he's in Miami to prove himself. in regards to him being able to call up plays, helping out the passing game. We're gonna see what he's gonna be able to do with the talent that Miami has. We're gonna see.
College help you in your job now, having been on the other side? Is there a big benefit to that for not just you, but for any coach, really?
Yeah, I really believe a lot of the coaches that have kind of I've been around that are really elite, good offensive coaches or really good elite defensive coaches have in some way, shape, or form been involved on the other side of the ball. Now that may not be they directly work on the other side of the ball, but they'll spend a lot of time with the coaches on the other side of the ball, talking to players on the other side of the ball. Like, you have to have a great understanding at this level of what's going on the other side to be able to talk through the foundations of everything you want to do and how to answer the things they present. So for me, I know it's been massive through the course of my entire career, just having that knowledge and that background.
So I understand your title is Senior Passing Game Coordinator. This coaching staff.
See, Senior Passing Game Coordinator. He used to be an offensive coordinator, and they downgraded him to Senior Passing Game Coordinator. You know, I'm pretty sure he really wants to be a head coach. I'm pretty sure about that. But last year, I didn't really go his way for him to do that. So now he's here as a Senior Passing Game Coordinator. But hopefully he can make the most out of this situation. We're going to see. You know, he had some time with the 49ers as well, when Mike McDaniel was over there. So he's kind of familiar with the offense. Maybe there's some nuances that he still has to learn, but he's a good fit. But at the same time, we just don't want all the bad luck that ended up happening last year to happen with the Dolphins this year.
Also has Darrell Bevell as passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach, and Frank Smith, offensive coordinator. How will all your jobs and titles intertwine? How was that communicated to you from Mike, that your jobs will all go hand in hand?
Yeah, it's very similar to how you build the whole team. You know, really, it's just at the end of the day, how do we make sure everyone has clear, defined roles while also being able to help each other in what they're doing to help players go play and us go win games. So I know for me and what I've been doing in particular is kind of like I already referenced. I've known Mike a long time. You know, I know a lot of what makes him tick, particularly as it pertains to football. So I can help in regards to just me and Mike talking, conversing. You know, there's a lot to balance when you're a head coach and you're also a play caller. So just helping that process out, speeding that process up, and then outside of that, like just working hand in hand with the rest of the staff. Bevel's been awesome. He's let me kind of hop in the quarterback room, which I have an affinity for. I love quarterback play. I love being in the quarterback room. He's been fantastic. We've you know, really bonded over the first month and a half, 2 months since I've been here. Me and Frank work hand in hand on a lot of things, and really wherever help is needed is kind of where I'll go, you know, and that's really to help everybody moving forward and just keep the train rolling is really why I'm here.
Speaking of that quarterback excitement, what excites you most about Tua's game that you've seen so far?
There's a lot, you know. I think the person as just a starting point is always the foundation of every like really good player I've been around. It always starts with the human being and the person. And I mean, he's an exceptional human. He's really fun to be around. He has positive energy all the time. He's demanding of himself, but he's also demanding of others. You know, what he's been doing out there so far this summer has been fun to see. I mean, he's holding people accountable. He's holding himself accountable. He's really on the details of everything we're doing when we're trying to build the foundations of this stuff. And then as a player, I mean, he's incredibly accurate. He's unbelievable at throwing with anticipation, throwing to space, getting the ball out on time, throwing throws you may not have thought were possible beforehand. You know, he just has a knack for feeling and seeing things that I just don't think a lot of people have in real time. You know, you can see it after the fact on film, but there's a lot of people that can do that. There's not many people that can do it all in the moment. So it's just been fun. I'm excited to keep going. Yeah, you got it.
Choose a smarter email and marketing automation platform.
Y'all ain't hear him? He said Tua throwing balls that he thought that he couldn't throw beforehand. He snapped, man. He snapped. But shout out to Bobby Slowick. Next, we got Austin Clark, the D-line coach. We're going to see what he has to say. You know, he has a lot of D linemen to work with, you know, and last year he showed us that he's able of developing, you know, Chop Robinson to do something, you know, Kamara, We ain't really see him last year. You know, Phillips injured, Chubb injured. So Austin Clark, I'm not doubting his talents in regards to being a D-line coach. But we gonna see if he's gonna be able to turn Kenneth Grant to a monster. We gonna see.
All I wanted was a zero minimum manufacturer, and then I found Tap Stitch.
You know, 4 rookies and a rookie. You must be one of the most excited guys to have those.
That boy think he cool, man.
No question, man. Great dudes, great people, great players. Work extremely hard, and mentally they're built the way we want them. Doing a hell of a job.
You would expect them to be on the field right away, those guys?
Yeah, I think, you know, right now we're not focused on that as much as their development and their routine as a professional and the techniques we're asking them to do right now. You know, that's what the focus of phase 2 is, our development, man. It's the one time all year where you can really focus on just the techniques we're asking them to play, you know, and you get to show it in the meeting room in phase 1, which you're asking them to do, take it to the drills on the field, start to learn the scheme, and then next week put the ball down and see what we got.
So from what you see, so any trouble when you put that ball down?
Yeah, you never know, but I think they all have high. They're working KG, Phillips, Zeke. Huntley, we got same amount of rookies as veterans, so it's a fun challenge every day. And you doing all right?
How are you?
Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you. You probably touched on Grant, but I was going to ask you what you're seeing out of him so far.
Yeah, great. I think he's really got the right mentality, man. That's the first thing that stands out. The way he works, when he shows up in the morning, how he is in the meetings, and he takes that on the field. You know, he's been the first guy on the field, you know, before practice, working on his craft. He's a mentally tough kid, you know. He works extremely hard, and I think his lateral agility for his size really stands out.
Weaver was just talking about how consistent he's been from the first play to the last play in college and how he never seemed to come off the field. But I'm thinking out here, is that realistic to think? I mean, how much of a weight can you put on a guy to stay out there? And, you know, is he on a play count, for example?
No, absolutely not. You know, I think like all young players, what we're telling them right now is your role on this team and on this D-line is what you make it. And if you earn that and you warrant that and you're in great shape, you know, no. You know, I mean, you know, you think back to some of the lines we've had here in the past with guys like Wilkins and Sealer, you know, I doubt back in 2020 you would think Zach Sealer would be playing 78 to 80%, you know. So it's all different. It's based by situation. We're really focused on bringing all these young guys along, you know, not just KG, but also Phillips. And, you know, I'm happy with where they're at so far in phase 2.
Yeah, what about Phillips? What's he showing you so far?
Yeah, likable personality, man. I mean, he really loves football. And him and KG, it's interesting. Jordan's 20 years old, KG's 21, okay? So you've got, for me personally, since I've been here, the most youthful group. And they're humble.
And them boys don't even seem that young, man. Sometimes you sit back and realize, like, damn, he 21, 6'3", 6'4", 330. You know, I'm 28. I'm 6 foot, 6'1", 200. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And hungry guys, eager to learn. And everything we're teaching them technically, like, there's a lot of new things, you know. They're playing multiple positions. A guy like Jordan played primarily at zero at Maryland, you know. It's like shaded techniques are new for him. Some of the pass rush stuff is new for him. But he works extremely hard, and I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to be around him yet, but both those guys, likable guys, man, and they love football.
So what was it that sold you about them, especially Kenneth, to be as early a selection? What was it that made you say, okay, that's my guy?
Yeah, you know, we did a lot of work on Kenneth. I would tell you, had him at the combine, and, you know, the guy, as he comes in the room, he's all about business, you know. He's really about football. He loves this, you know. And I think for him, his stamina and the number of plays he played at Michigan, to still play at the level he did, you know, you guys probably just saw that Penn State play, right? It's like all over the internet. Well, there's a lot of other plays like that, the way he plays. And then I actually went to Michigan and met with him before the pro day. And what excited me is you kind of met with him in the room, and watch some of the things he did poorly. You know, that was what I was focused on, the areas of growth and things we getting better at. You know, he's eager to learn. And I think the coaches at Michigan did it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm watching Kenneth Grant's film. I don't think there's much there for us to fix on him. You know, he does have stuff to fix. You know, nobody's perfect. You know, but once you get the little stuff right about Kenneth Grant, man, he's gonna be a dog, man. He will be a dog.
A heck of a job with his football acumen for where he was as a young player, and then competed his tail off at Pro Day. You know.
Given that you spent a 1 and a 3 on those guys up front, were you and Weaver like high-fiving on draft night or something? Or what?
1 and a 5, right?
Oh, 1 and a, yeah.
Yeah, we could have took a 1, 3, and a 5. I wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah.
No, we were excited for sure. I mean, it was awesome for me to see. For us to take the investment in the front is awesome for us. You know, that's for this particular point of where we're at. That's what we needed. You know, and in years past that hasn't really been the case. If you think back to like 20 to 23 when we had the same kind of 3 core guys. You know, so it's an exciting time. I know Weave was pumped up about it as well, and now it's about the growth day to day. You know, that's what we're focused on with these guys.
Austin, how important is it to have a guy like Zach? And how much does he even have to step up more? Because Calais is out, you know, Armstead's out as a leader for a guy like Zach.
Yeah, I would say first thing was Zach. Zach's captain on this team last year, and he earned that throughout a long process here from where he started as a Dolphin in 2020. And we just need Zach to be Zach. You know, I think everybody that knows him and knows his leadership style, that's what he's all about. Now, when you have, you know, 4 rookies in a rookie class, how valuable is he? He's the picture we want from a professional walking in the building every day to how he attacks individual, how he is in the weight room, how he is in the meeting room, and how he is when he leaves as a professional. So to have that is invaluable, man. And Zach's been great. You know, it's funny. I joke with him. I'm like, you're the old guy now, man. I think he's 29, and, you know, Jordan can't even buy a beer. I mean, it's like, it's fun, though. I'll tell you this. It's reinvigorated me as a coach to go, okay, we got 1 or 2 guys that have kind of.
You said Theo Weiss Jr. Yeah, Theo Weiss, he's definitely a dog, man. I do like Theo Weiss. So that's not a surprise right there. That's not a surprise. Armstrong, I thought he would show up, but I haven't heard anything about him. I haven't heard anything.
I've been around here, and we got to host some new guys. We got to teach them, we got to coach them, we got to develop them.
How could you be more invigorated?
Placing your first options trade? You've come to the right place. With real-time insights.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, we went a couple years without drafting a D lineman. That's how, you know what I mean?
Couple.
No, but it's a credit. It's a credit to, you know, Chris and his staff as well. I think that's the thing that can't go missed here, man. I mean, we've had some really good D linemen, you know, and when we've drafted them, we've drafted right, and it's our job as coaches to develop them, and they trust in us to do that, and respect the crap out of that. And even the later guys and the free agents we got, the scouting department did a heck of a job with that.
With Biggers, how fortunate were you? Because I looked at him and I thought that looks like a 0 right there. How fortunate were you to get him in that 7th round?
Yeah, I thought Zeke was a great pickup. You know, it's Biggers he's big.
Yeah.
You know, the guy is, when he walked in here, Kenjay Cotton, our assistant D-line coach, was actually at the East-West, I believe, which Jordan was there, and Zeke, and actually KG, he just participated in the meetings. But he left and came back. He goes, look, this guy's a big ball of clay, man. And that's what I see. You know, he's a big body, fluid mover, and he's got to continue to get stronger in the weight room, stronger at the point of attack. And he may be able to do a few things. We're excited for him to see him work.
Why 3 noses, though? Is it just 3 college noses?
Yeah.
I don't know what your vision is for him here, but that I found that very unique.
Yeah, I think, you know, you may see him as noses. We see him as versatile pieces. You know, I think.
Yeah, they all could play anything, to be honest, except for Phillips. I wouldn't put him at the 0. I would put Kenneth Grant and Biggers at the 0, the 1. You know, Phillips, I would rather put him around like the 2, the 3, the 4. You know, I wouldn't put him at nose. I would not. Only Kenneth Grant and Biggers.
It's kind of like the analogy I would use for you is, You know, we played nickel defense with Christian and Sealer here for a long time, 2-3 techniques. And you would say, well, you don't have a nose. Well, it's kind of the best available guys you can get and piece together. I think that's the way you kind of look at it. And then we get them all here, and we evaluate what they can do and what they do best, and then we try to piece them in them spots, you know? And I know sometimes based on where these guys, you know, it's interesting. Our group, all of them, I think maybe except one, had multiple D-line coaches in college, which when you talk about development, like maybe there was someone who put a guy in a box and says, hey, this is just it. Or maybe at their college, they didn't have a nose, so they played him in nose, you know? So I always try to stay open-minded with who we got. We're going to find out what they can do, and it's up to them. Their role is going to be what they make it, but they're doing a good job so far.
We've said he was just happy that he was walking around with guys bigger than him. That's what he said.
Oh, these guys are big, man. You know, big is not going to be the problem, but we got to get them to understand how to unleash that power out of their hips, their legs and their lower back, come out of their hips, use their hands in the run game.
Love
and,
that.
you know, start crushing some pockets in the pass game and make it difficult on them. But these guys are huge. There's no doubt about it. He feels like they're big. How the hell you think I feel?
Yeah. Because Weaver, he like 6'3", 6'4". Austin, he's like 5'6". You know, he's a short guy. Definitely a short guy. But shout out to coach, running back coach now. Let's show
his film from college. Well, I think, you know, it's part of the process. That gives us an introduction to him. I like a lot more what I'm seeing from him here. You know what I mean? The chance to get to know him, work with him, see how he learns, how he processes stuff, and you get to feel his competitive nature, his passion for what we're trying to get him to do and what he wants to do. So I kind of, that's in the background for me. I love being around him every day.
You got a crowded running backs room right now. When you look at things from scrimmage, do you have any roles for guys as far as Madison, the short yardage guy, Chan, the number one, and et cetera?
I think there's two ways kind of look at that. One, I think each guy makes his own role on the team. I don't think we predetermine that. I think you got to expose them to everything and see what they can do and let them develop into the role that they clearly take and establish on their own through what they do. And then the other part of that is, and I think probably even more important than that, is that all the backs in my room, we coach and talk and work as though they're the starter. They're the guy that's going to be on every play, whether it's first and second down, third down, short yardage, backed up, 4-minute, whatever that situation is. They're all coached to be ready for those opportunities. So it's not one may get it in a game, but you never know what happens in a game. They all have to be prepared for those opportunities, whatever it may be throughout the course of a game. So that's how we work in the room all the time.
Shout out to coach. That was a quick one, only 1 minute. Only 1 minute on that one. Just give me one moment. Just looking for something real quick. We gonna be here all night, man. All night. You know, I've been hearing that Cam Moore, he been balling out, man. That's what I've been hearing. Like he been pretty sharp out there with Calvin Ridley. He gonna have a good year. Calvin Ridley, I think he'll get at least 8 touchdowns this year. At least 1,000 yards. You know, now he got a real quarterback. Ever since Matt Ryan, Ridley ain't really have nobody to rely on. Now you got Cam Moore really about to turn up, man. Really is about to turn up, I'm telling y'all right now. You know, I don't know. I see a lot of Patrick Mahomes in him. His body structure, his size. Y'all don't see Patrick Mahomes? Y'all don't see that? I see that. I know I'm not crazy. You know, I don't know if he's going to get more than 30 passing touchdowns this year. It's possible, but I doubt it. I predict he's going to get at least 27. That's what I'm thinking, at least 27. That release is just insane, man. Different arm angles. Bro, the Titans went and got themselves a Patrick Mahomes, man. You know, based off the numbers that Kim Ward was putting up at Incarnate Word at Miami, you know, there's no way that he don't come into the league and, you know, start winning some games off rip. You know, he in a good situation. They put weapons around him. He got 2 good running backs. You know, receivers, they could get there. You know, they got the dude from Stanford, the dude who burnt Travis Hunter, you know, Colorado versus Stanford. They got that guy. So you got Travis Hunter Kryptonite on your team. So the Titans, they can make something happen this year, man, with Cam Ward. They could make something happen, man. Like, he looks serious out there. He not playing around with them boys, man. He not playing this year. You know, for the most part, it's bad to have the number 1 overall pick, but sometimes it could be a blessing in disguise. You know, if the Titans never had the number 1 overall pick, they would have never got Cam Ward. That's how you gotta think about it. You know, the Titans, they're not regretting being bad last year now. They're not regretting it because they got this guy throwing the ball. You know, to be honest, I'm not going to hate. You know, there's a chance that he could throw more passing touchdowns than Tua. But if Tua get past 30 passing touchdowns this year, most likely he stayed healthy. You know, and I doubt that Cam Ward will pass 30 passing touchdowns. I think he will pass 25 for sure. 30, I don't know if he's going to pass that. I don't know. You know, they treating him like a legend already. They brought Warren Moon out for him. Like, come on, man. Did Dan Marino do this for Tua? Did he? I don't think so. This is what an organization does when they believe in you, when they have trust in you. This is what they do, man. This right here. That's clean, man. Marcus Mariota, Ryan Tannehill, all them boys, man, just to get to this point. Just to get to this point. But yeah, man, shout out to Cam Ward.
So you went on a visit where?
I went to a 30 visit in March.
You went to Tennessee? You went to New York?
Yeah. I went to New York. I'm in New York City. It's all good, though.
Got there by Tesla China. We didn't have like bad.
I guess that's the rookie meeting that they had. Well, them boys, they BFFs now. One thing you gotta notice: if you weren't picking the first round, you're not here, so you're not gonna see Shador here as a quarterback. If you weren't picking the first round, you're not gonna be here. It's only them two. Only them two. Try Shador Sanders, man. Try them. Here's a little clip of him in high school. It's just crazy how he ended up being a 0-star recruit. It's crazy, man. You know, he got two good passing game on running backs with Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard. So that could definitely help his case in regards to if he can't see nothing, you know, down the field, he could dump it out to his two good receiving running backs. On top of that, you got Restrepo, your former teammate. You got Gunnar Helm from Texas. You got a lot of weapons with you, man. A lot of weapons. Like I'm not saying that the Titans are winning the division, but I don't think they're gonna finish last. I don't think they're gonna finish last, man. They're gonna win more games this year, guaranteed. Guaranteed, man. But yeah, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all feel about that in regards to Cam Ward. Just wanted to touch base on that with y'all real quick. You know,
It's fun to finally like be where you're gonna be at and get some work and get some good honest work in.
How's it been like to work with Cam over the course of the past couple days?
It's been great, yeah. It's he gets the ball out really fast.
it's the guy who beat Travis Hunter. I think he got like 300 yards on Travis Hunter. And Travis Hunter, he plays for the Jaguars, a division rival. So this is going to be a good matchup to watch. But we're going to see if he could even get some playing time. We're going to see.
Which is great. It's something that I'm excited to work with him in the future.
What's kind of the biggest adjustment you have to make to that effect on your resume?
Oh, you just have to be ready. You know that he's going to be on time to have that in mind every time. Like if you're late, and because he's going to be late.
See what other clips they got. I wonder what like Will Levis, like how is he feeling, man? How's Will Levis feeling, man? You got your job took by a rookie already. We all know he gonna be a starter, man.
Nudge people to bring him aboard?
I did push for him. Every team that I visited with, I pushed for him. He's one of the best route runners across football last year. His first team all
Talking about Restrepo on this one.
He never lost in man coverage. He's back-to-back touchdown receiver, so I will be pushed for him.
Nudge people
Like I told y'all, he gonna ride for his teammates. We gotta expect that.
I pushed for him. He's
Gotta expect
one of
that.
the best route runners across football last year. His first team all conference. He's all
Next, we're gonna talk about the Jets real quick. We're gonna watch they practice. No copyright. There go Justin Fields, but he got number 7. There go Aaron Glenn. Like, who gonna be the better head coach? Aaron Glenn or Mike McDaniel? Who gonna outsmart who? That's what we really trying to figure out. Who gonna outsmart who? Both smart head coaches. But sometimes I be feeling like Mike McDaniel, he too smart for his own good. Too smart for his own good to the point where a coach like this could beat him on any day. On any day. Prime example, Mike Vrabel. He has the Dolphins' hand, to be honest. Even though we might think that Mike McDaniel is the smarter head coach, the more innovative head coach, we still got our ass beat by a Mike Vrabel team. And I think you're going to get a similar type of team from an Aaron Glenn type of team. That's what I think. Hey, shout out to my boy Cap. You here at 1 o'clock in the morning, fam? You wild, man. You wild. They gave Justin Fields 7 like he Vic. They go McDonald. They go Bill Wilson. One thing for sure, the Jets defense gonna be okay. One thing about it, there go Braden Allen, he gonna be a dog. Next, Derrick Henry. Bill Quinn. A lot of new faces. I think that was Anaya Smith. I think that's Matt Mitchell. Saul Gardner. Armand Membu. They go Lazard. I thought Lazard was going to be off the team. Aaron Rodgers, he's not here no more. What Lazard still doing on the team? Yeah, I ain't going to win with Lazard on the team. I'm going to be honest, bro. They go Ruckert. They go Brees Hall. They go Brandon Stephens. Came from the Ravens. You know, I'm not too scared of the Jets, but, you know, I just wanted to see that clip to see, like, what them boy got going on. Is there anything for me to worry about? But it don't seem like nothing too crazy happening. Nothing too crazy. All right. Let me see here. Another thing I wanted to go over, Brashad Smith, man. Brashad Smith. How did the NFL let Brashad Smith go to the Kansas City Chiefs? How, Sway? Like, this is going to be a problem, man. I think he's going to be the starting running back for the Chiefs. I think he's going to be the starting running back. I'm telling y'all right now. You know, a lot of people slept on him in the draft. He ended up getting picked in like the 7th, 6th round. And you know, watch, he's going to show y'all he should have been at least a 2nd, 3rd round pick. Minimum. We're going to put up the tape in a little bit, but it was just confusing as to how he slid down the draft and nobody really believed in him. Maybe there's an injury issue, but I doubt it. I think he's straight. I think he good, man. And he from the crib, Florida, man. We should have took him, man. I'm not even going to lie. We should have took him. 4.39, 1.58, 10-yard split, 32-inch vertical. Not that good, but he a running back. Basically, you know, that could play receiver as well. He a pretty good route runner. You know, we should have brought that boy back to the crib, man. We should have brought that boy back to the crib, Miami, where he belongs. See if he has any recent, yeah, he posting some stuff with the receivers. Okay. Yeah, Brashad Smith, he gonna go crazy, dog. I'm telling you.
On you have those guys had, the ones that are leaving now?
Really just kind of further cemented, you know, the culture.
I'm trying to look for like practice clips. Okay, there go one.
Good finish, good job. Good job, finish.
He looked like a 4-3.
Good finish, good job.
Number 30, be on the lookout, man. He gonna take off, man. He gonna take off, man. He a Miami kid. I just see it happening. I really do see it happening, man. There's gonna be another guy the Dolphins will regret losing. Trust. Like, look at this tape at running back, man. How do you see this and say, no, I don't care what his size is? You know, it seemed like the Dolphins really needed a running back with size, but if you got a running back like this, man, you know, who play bigger than his size, man, I'll try to work with you, man. Very good vision. He got that Miami vision. That Antonio Brown AB vision. That's what he got. Good job switching lanes. Excuse me. Good job squeezing in there. Ooh, get out of my way. Come on, man. If you telling me that this guy cannot be the starter for the Chiefs, you playing. You playing. So elusive. So shifty. Out of bounds. Like, just imagine him and Patrick Mahomes, man. That's cheating. That's cheating. You know, I'm not saying that I don't want him to be good, but at the same time, it probably will happen. I think he could put up like 500 passing and rushing this year for the Chiefs, maybe more. We're gonna see. Just gonna have to prove that he could play in the NFL, and I think they're gonna give him more snaps, and he's gonna be the starting running back for the Chiefs. Starting running back, maybe slot receiver. Yeah, that boy is moving, man. You'll move to the left. Easy. Ooh, excuse me. See, you got good contact balance, just like Alvin Kamara. You know, I do see the similarities, man. I do see the similarities. So that was one thing I really wanted to touch on. You know, in regards to, you know, Rashad Smith, man. You know, the Dolphins gonna regret not picking this guy. Definitely will regret it. It don't seem like I got anything else for y'all, to be honest. It do not seem like it. All right. And I guess I'm gonna just end the stream here. You know, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so you know I gotta get my rest. I gotta be up tomorrow as well. So I've been on for 2 hours. Good enough. Good enough. I might hop back on once I get back home later tomorrow. Oh wait, actually I'm not gonna be here, so I'm gonna just repost videos and stuff like that. Y'all see them on my page. Y'all see them. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know, we coming for the NFL season. I'm gonna be back live, active, vlogs coming in, music coming in, everything, man. Just be patient with me. You know, a lot of stuff is working in my favor at this current moment. So, you know, I'm just grinding hard. If I'm not on live stream, you know, I'm working hard for y'all, and we're gonna turn up, man. I know this channel gonna do great things. All the other channels that I work on, they're gonna do great things as well. You know, but just wanted to thank y'all on this channel, you know, on all of my other channels as well. You know, we about to be big, man. I'm telling y'all right now, based off what I'm doing, we about to be big, man. But hey, appreciate y'all, love y'all, Ralph, you know, Cap. Thank y'all for putting up on me. Even everybody who here at 1:13 a.m. Eastern time, you know, appreciate y'all, love y'all, man. You know, and go get that merch. GGmerchandise.com. Simple, man. But hey, love y'all, man. I can't say that enough. It's DGE, Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's